Reporting live from the Chinese bunker here. It's called Penn Global. It's a company that's owned by China. And I have a lot of questions about what goes on in these buildings after the COVID, after all the things that are going on. I have questions about all the leadership decisions, especially the threat of letting a Green Mile killer loose. Whenever it gets to this point, the threats about our safety, the threats of taking your job away from you, the threat of jail, like what that lady, that Mayor Lightfoot did. Let me just tell you, Mayor Lightfoot, there's a constitution, and you're not abiding by it any more than any of the other illegal activities that some of the, quote, leadership has been doing. When you infringe on the Constitution, you have a lot of different things to be talking about other than sending people to jail. That threat, just the threatening behavior alone, it tells you a lot about the leadership. The reason I don't go to Chicago is not because of that. It's because of people like Mayor Lightfoot. It's called a constitution, something she should probably have read. There's a lot of leaders that have made contracts and agreements in the United States, here in the state of Pennsylvania as well, that are not legal. And let me just tell you, to those companies, after the COVID and after what happened, the Wuhan flu, the Wu flu, and let me just tell you, there are thousands and thousands of people that are dying because of it. And that is exactly what a lot of people are afraid to say, that it was a bioterrorist attack. I'm going to tell you, it's much like 9/11. I felt like I was waking up to 9/11 again. The Constitution. Something I think we need to really pay attention to is that understanding the inner workings of government and how the people get elected and how they stay in their positions. Because I'm going to tell you, most of the individuals that have been doing the usurping of the Constitution would be impeached right now, or would be going through impeachment trials. See, Nancy Pelosi got it wrong. They confused the public for the longest time. Right before President Trump was inaugurated, they started this whole sham of a story called Russian Confusion Collusion. And they ate up all this time. A young man would sit there and tell you, like, they didn't know the difference. Like, they would think that President Trump was a criminal. He is far from a criminal. Okay, now, with that being said, constitutional infringing, let me just tell you, the local police officer, when you pull over somebody, you have to have probable cause. Like, there has to be a reason that you pull that person. You just can't pull people over and take their truck and take their stuff. You actually have to have probable cause that there's a reason to do so. Well, in my book here, what happened to me up there in Rochester, and the way that police officer has talked to me on the phone, again, it's a constitutional thing, because it says right here in the Constitution to that police officer up there in Rochester, it's called vested rights. There's a whole lot of stuff in here. To that police officer that likes to hang up on the phone, to some of the people that work in government that like to hang up on constituents, you better read your Constitution pretty quick. Really. Yeah, because some of you are going to be replaced.